2017, 2018, just an estimated 247, 257 expired, and the city of Philadelphia died as a result of the opioid crisis. Those are the numbers, right? So the next question is
actually,
talking about...
we had 1,217 last year.
2018.
2018, correct.
To
1,200. 17 souls.
And 17. Safe injection sites. We spoke about those before. You were pretty open to safe injection sites. Are you still open to safe injection sites?
I'm open to anything that will save lives. I mean, here's the issue. And look, I understand people in the neighborhood where something like that might be cited are concerned, fearful, scared. I mean, I get all that. And we can't move forward. And so your listeners understand, the city would not be sponsoring this. What the city, if this ever were to happen, and it's not sure it's going to happen, because we still have law enforcement that has to weigh in, we have the courts that have to weigh in. This could be a while away. But what we would do is provide social service opportunities for people who come in there. So social workers, medical folks, nurses, people who can administer Narcan if they go down with an overdose. In an effort to get people into housing, to get them into addiction services, it's the best place to interact with them. If someone injects drugs outside in an alleyway or in the dark, and they overdose and die, we never have a chance to save them. This way, if we get them in a door somewhere, in a medical facility, someplace where we can talk to them, interact with them, and try to get them well, I think that's really what our responsibility is. They've worked in Europe and they've worked in Canada, and I'm not saying it's ever going to happen. But my point is, I'd rather look at the possibilities, all the possibilities, so we can say one life saved is important.
We know that there are drug-free zones that are around schools. I can tell you, we started doing our own site tours around some of the schools, and some of them are elementary and middle schools. And the devastation around those middle schools, to think that my kid or your kid would have to walk by the sale of drugs. And those that are using drugs 7, 8 o'clock in the morning is really disturbing.
We have been,
Mr. Mayor, we're working on a documentary now, and to see that is devastating. A child 7, 8, 9 years old walking by people that are openly shooting up and dealing within a block of a elementary school is just unacceptable.
One of the positive things that is, we don't call it safe injection, we call it overdose prevention sites, would be people would be indoors.
And their comment was just in general, that is the city doing, and with the police department, in conjunction with the police department, doing a great job, or what is the policy or procedure, particularly at the start of the school day, where children can walk safely, at least within a 2-block radius, to get to a school and not to have to walk by people that are using.
We work closely with our principals and with our building maintenance people. They have my number, they have the police captain's number, they have people to call to come out and clean up. We often have situations where people relieve themselves both ways in schoolyards. We got to get that cleaned up in the morning, or people are sleeping on a bench that's in the schoolyard. So the officers, they patrol the schools every morning, every afternoon when kids are coming back out. The other issue is needles in the street. So we've placed storage facility, disposable containers around some L stops and around other places where people congregate, so they can put them in there. And then I think that safe injection site also would cause the needle to remain inside the site as opposed to on the street. We are not overwhelmed, but we are holding back, the floodgates. It's hard and it's constant work. And we're doing our level best, and we'll continue to do so.
All right. The Honorable Mayor Jim Kenney is my guest. So here's an opportunity. There's been the conversation that normally a sitting mayor, particularly from his own party, has never been challenged. And there are 2 challenges in this election, and people should re-elect you. Why?
I think that the concentration that we've made in education, I think, is wonderful, and I think that it will continue under this administration if we're re-elected. We've put about we've recommended about $1.2 billion over the next 5 years, $700 million in new money. Each school, the school district will get about $200 million a year from the city, which is twice as much as what they've gotten in the past. Again, we've dealt with the pre-K issue, and now we've had 3 straight years of increased test scores in reading and math and graduation rates. Our school facilities will be improved over the next couple of years. There's about $1 billion slated to go into the school buildings themselves. And we want our communities to be, our schools to be the center of our communities. And I think that if we put that train on that track between now and the child is leaving pre-K, graduating high school, by that time, those young people will be ready for life. College, CTE programs, the military if they choose, wherever it is they want to go, they will be ready and prepared for life. And I think that is the only way out of poverty. The only way out of poverty is education. And unless you're willing to invest in education, like the beverage tax, like additional money for the schools, like taking back our school board from the state, and not going hat in hand to Harrisburg and begging them for money they're not going to give us, or Washington, God knows that they don't doing anything right down there now. I think that's the main reason why we should be returned to offices, because of the emphasis that we put on education, neighborhood schools, neighborhood institutions, recreation centers, libraries, parks, quality of life, and good quality institutions and neighborhoods. It's every neighborhood in the city. Your future should not be determined by your zip code. We want every neighborhood in the city to be treated equitably.
Would you consider the success of the soda tax retaining control of the schools two of your shining moments, or am I missing something?
I'm very proud. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm also very proud of. We closed the prison. We're 40% down in our prison population in the county. We have people up at State Road that didn't belong up there, and belonged out getting job training and addiction treatment, not being held in a cell. But that doesn't do anything for anybody. We'll continue to drive down those numbers. We want to go down another 10, 20% over the next couple of years. Maybe we're going to close a second prison.
All right, great. Mayor Kenney,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right,
Thanks.
we'll see you at the polls May 21st.
I can't wait.
Thank you. It is Headlines. I'm Frankie Darcell. Thanks a lot for joining us.